Hey guys, I'm Caleb Giddings, aka Mr. Revolver, and this is my review of the Taurus Deputy. The Taurus Deputy was launched in 2024. It is Taurus's return to the single-action revolver market. For people who don't know the difference, a single-action revolver must have the hammer pulled back every time you want to fire it. They are often considered the classic cowboy guns, and they have a very iconic, not just look, but feel as well. So real quickly, let's go over the features of the all-new Taurus Deputy. Quick run through on the features of the Deputy. It has the classic half-moon front sight profile, which makes for a better sight picture. It has the gutter rear sight, so while it does have a better sight picture than other single-action revolvers on the market, it's still pretty difficult, right? Like, these are not the most accurate sights in the world, but we'll test those when we get to the range. Now, like the classic Colt design, it has 4 clicks. So some people have always said that the classic Colts, when you pull the hammer back, it spells C-O-L-T because it clicks 4 times, right? Well, I've been going through this in my head. I'm like, what does it spell on the Taurus? And I've decided it spells Toro. So T-O-R-O, Toro, bull. One upgrade to the Deputy over the classic Colt design is the presence of a transfer bar safety, which means that this can safely be loaded with 6 rounds and carried with 6 rounds in the gun, unlike the classic SAA where you have to load, skip a chamber, load, so that you have 5 rounds so that the hammer rests over an empty chamber. This, perfectly safe to carry with 6 rounds. Let's talk calibers. It is available in whatever caliber you want, so long as that caliber is .357 Magnum or .45 Colt. Let's talk barrel lengths. It's available in whatever barrel length you want, so long as those barrel lengths are 5.5 inches like this one here, or 4 3/4 inches. That's it. 2 barrel lengths, 2 calibers, which, to be fair, is all you need, right? I mean, okay, I'm a huge nerd, and I would love for there to be a 44 special chambering to go with this, and maybe that's something we'll get around to in the future. But for now, 45 Colt and .357/38. Anyway, that is just the very quick flyover of it. Couple of other things. We have the plastic grips with the Taurus logo. All of them do have this really beautiful satin black finish on it. This one doesn't look so great because it's been to the range already a couple of times because I just can't resist shooting a 45. But speaking of that, let's go to the range now. All right, we're out on the range now with the Taurus USA Deputy in 45 Colts. And the first thing that we're going to test now that we're out on the range is point of aim, point of impact at 15 yards. If you do not have a steady hand, if you're not a particularly accurate shooter, you're going to want to shoot this off a bag. You're going to want to have some sort of rest. I shoot a lot of Yankee, a lot of bullseye kind of stuff, so I'm very comfortable in my ability to hold the gun steady at 15 yards and get a clean enough trigger press to verify point of aim, point of impact. The reason why we want to do this is with a fixed sight gun, point of aim, point of impact is going to be affected by bullet grain weight, by all kinds of different stuff. And what we're looking for in a gun like this is a load that hits to the sights at an appropriate distance. For me, that distance is 15 yards. So let's get started, starting first with the Fiocchi 250 grain cowboy load. This is going a nominal 750 feet per second, and again, it is 250 grains of a simple lead flat nose round. All right, I was holding here, so it looks like point of impact is slightly left and slightly up. Not bad. We're gonna grab some more rounds and we're gonna shoot it again. All right, up next we have the Hornady Cowboy Action Load. This is a, I know it says it on the box here, this is a 255 grain lead flat point, nominal 725 according to the manufacturer's box. Here we go. I'm gonna hold the head box for this one. That definitely had less recoil than the Fiocchi. I was holding here, tip of the front sight at the bottom of the head box, so we're about 2 inches high. I'd actually say that's more like 3 inches high, and then about an inch left with the Hornady rounds. This one, I definitely just watched the front sight lift as I pulled the trigger on this one, and that one, yeah, the gun hits a little bit high with the heavy 255s. Let's go grab another bullet. All right, we've got our next round. This is Hornady Critical Defense. Compared to the Cowboy loads, these are going Mach fuck at 920 feet per second, but it's also only a 185 grain bullet. I'm gonna hold the bottom of the C zone just to see where the point of impact on these is. Oh my gosh. That first one hit right behind the front sight. If these hit to the sights, I'm gonna crash out. I pulled that one. It's a little low. Okay, so not perfectly to the sights, but closest to the sights of anything I've shot so far, which is friggin' hilarious to me that the critical defense are the things that are hitting. That first shot was my point of aim, so these are all correct windage, and the elevation is pretty close. All right, I've got one more set that I'm gonna try. The last round that I'm going to fire is the Remington HTP, High Terminal Performance. This is a Remington defensive load. It is a 230 grain jacketed hollow point at a stated 950 feet per second. Let's see where this one hits. We're going to hold, I'm going to hold the bottom of the neckline, and we'll see where this one goes. Well, at least you guys know I don't flinch. This was my point of aim here. I have 3 right on the point of aim. I have 3 clustered in a nice little tight group above it. That differentiation of 1.5 inches could be from anything. The sights are hard to see because they're, you know, vestigial cowboy style sights. It could be anything. I am perfectly happy with this point of aim, point of impact for a gun like that, shooting those rounds. And that Remington 230 grain had surprisingly low recoil. I've backed up to 25 yards, and I'm going to try to go 6 for 6 on this AC piece of steel using the Remington 230 grain jacketed hollow points. Now that wasn't bad. That's pretty good shooting. I will take that. Okay, boys, this last one I'm calling the Cowboy Bill Drill. It's a bill drill on an AC steel, 6 shots as fast as I can. Strong hand only, of course, because big iron. Six for 6. Let's check the time. 10:42. That might be the slowest bill drill I've ever done in my life, but it's very satisfying. That kind of wraps up our range session, so let's cut, go back to the studio, talk about the gun. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Any day you get to shoot a single action out on the range is a great day. So let me sum up my thoughts from the range trip now. I'm not surprised that the Cowboy Action ammo didn't shoot to the sights on this gun. And that may come as a surprise to you guys, because you would think, well, Caleb, this gun is clearly a Cowboy Action gun. Why wouldn't the Cowboy Action ammo shoot to the sights? And I don't have a good answer for that from a manufacturing perspective. I just know that historically, I've had hard times with getting factory-made Cowboy Action ammo to hit to the sights. What I did love was that both the Hornady Critical Defense and the Remington High Terminal Performance Jacketed Hollow Point did hit roughly to the sights, because those are the rounds that I would probably have in this gun anyway. I didn't actually get this to go do cowboy cosplay, despite my status as a life member of the Single Action Shooting Society, and I may end up doing that at some point in the future just for giggles, because it's a great gun for that sort of thing. I actually got this to carry as a backup to my 4570 when I'm rifle hunting. Why did I get this as a backup to my 4570? Because it's cool. Because it's single action 45 Colt. That's why. That's why you get one of these, because it's cool, right? And I would very likely carry in it those Remington 230 grain high terminal performance jacketed hollow points, because I have seen their effectiveness in ballistic gel tests. I've seen what they can do to living things, not personally delivered by me, but in other circumstances. So I would have 100% confidence loading this thing up with 6 of these, throwing it in a holster, and carrying this as my sidearm backup for when I am out hunting with a rifle or something like that. Let's talk real briefly about what this sort of gun is for. So obviously there's the cowboy action market. There's lots of people out there who love to shoot cowboy action. Fun fact, the Single Action Shooting Society is the largest shooting sport by membership of any of the what we would consider action shooting sports. So if you want to get your sass on, this is a real nice entry point for that as well, right? The gun's not tuned up or anything like that. It's not like some of the other like pre-gunsmith single actions out there, but at a sub $500 price point for the gun, that's not bad. You can get 2 of these, which you need for single action shooting, be under $1,000, go over to our sister company Heritage, get yourself a 45 Colt or a 357 rifle, Also for under $1,000. Oh, also you can get a 12 gauge coach gun from Heritage, our sister company, and you're all set. You've got all of the guns you need for less than $3,000, and you can go, pick out your costume and go shoot cowboy action. And I think that's pretty awesome. But even if you don't want to shoot gun games with it, the Deputy is a great niche because people love single actions. They love these guns. They love the tactile feel of them. What's not to love about that, right? There is something that is especially nice about shooting a single action, and the Taurus Deputy scratches that itch for me. I actually have a lot of single actions in there. They're a type of revolver I really love, and if you're interested in that single action revolver, if you're interested in kind of that heritage look and feel, that classic timeless design with the plow handle grips, the beautiful finish, but you also like the ability to carry all 6 rounds in the gun, definitely check out the Taurus Deputy. Obviously, I work for Taurus, big disclaimer there, but Taurus doesn't make me do these reviews, right? This is not part of my job. I do these for the love of the game and because I think the Taurus Deputy is a fucking cool gun. I'm Caleb Giddings. Thanks for watching.